You're welcome to another time. Today we're talking about manipulating attribute and element contents in TypeScript. We've already discussed how can retrieve elements using JavaScript by the DOM model, right? So now I want to talk about manipulating. When I want to talk about manipulating, I'm talking about stuff like we're talking about changing. Okay, let's look at we're talking about changing of text content. We're talking about manipulating the attributes and also manipulating text content. So manipulate attributes, we can manipulate attribute using the class list. So let's work out how we can implement it. Don't forget we have a button already retrieved here. This is the button here. Let's see how we can be able to manipulate the text content. So we'll come and we'll say, okay, manipulate. Okay, let's say we want to manipulate the text content here, which is this header here. TypeScript basics. All right. First, let's even add some styling here. We'll come and add some styling. We'll say, okay, class. Also, sorry. So go class. So okay, text 2XL font dash bold. So text dash center. And say what else? I think this is fine. So reload this now. We have so let's manipulate this text now. We'll come here. Let's even retrieve the text first of all. So don't forget that I've already retrieved. Let's manipulate. Let's change the text. So we'll come here. TypeScript will say okay. Don't forget we created. We call it header. We'll come over. So okay, header dot text content. So text content represents the content of the HTML element in the HTML document. So if you look at the content is let's even check what the content is here from JavaScript and check what the content is for JavaScript. We'll come and say okay from TypeScript, sorry. So we'll come and say let's console log this. So say okay text content so console the log header the text content. So I want to see what the text content of our header. We come and reload this. Yeah, compiling. So we'll go here. Reload. You see, TypeScript based. This is what we have here. So we'll be able to retrieve it. So let's say we want to change this text content. How do we do that? Changing text content. Let's say manipulating elements content. Once we do that, we'll come and we'll say, okay, header dot you can either use text content or you can use what we call the inner text or inner HTML. Any of this is pointing towards the element content. So inner text, inner HTML is equal to say okay, TypeScript is powerful. Like this, TypeScript is powerful like this. So come in, you know, let's see. So this is supposed to have changed. Let's see text content. So I think it's loading. Oh, I didn't compile. Let's recompile first of all. Let's recompile. You don't switch off my data. We didn't compile, so it's not going to implement. So we compile here. Perfect. So if we go here now, load this now. You see that TypeScript is powerful. So we're able to manipulate the element content from JavaScript. So let's say we want to um, look at this. I want to add some styling to this. I want to add manipulate classes like what we used to style in TypeScript. Want to manipulate the class, I can manipulate them using what we call the class list. So we'll come here, got class lists, add class list, comma, add comma, remove, comma, then toggle. So this are used to manipulate the class, all right, to manipulate the class of an element, all right. So the add is used to add a class. Let's say you want to add a class for styling. Then you know when we are using tailwind, we manipulate the styles using the class, the attribute class. So you can be able to add a class, add a property, remove a property, and top the property. So let's go ahead and say, okay, header. Just talk about that header here, which is dot class list, right? Dot add. So you add now, you now determine what you let's say want to add. Look at this now. Want to add color to this text content here, this text here. We'll come here and say, so sorry. Come and say, so I want to add color. So bg dash red dash 500. All right. So compile this again. We compile, then come and reload this. So I've added background color. So let's want to change the text to white. You can come and say, you can still add it here and say, okay, text dash white. Okay, text dash white to come and say reload. See that we've done that. We're able to manipulate his class using JavaScript. All right, so let's want to get attribute. Let's get the particular attributes. Let's get the attributes, total attribute that this particular element has. We want to see the total attribute that particular element has. We can come and say the get attributes method. So come and say, okay, header dot get attribute. So what attribute are we getting? We're getting the class attribute here. The values of the class attribute. Let's console log this so I can see it on our console. Console.log. Perfect. So let's run this on our, let's recompile. You see that text to SL, font build, text center, stuff like that. All right. You see what we can do with that. And don't forget, even as you can add, you can remove. Just like we added this, you can also remove. You can come and say, okay, header dot class list dot the remove method. So we come and say, okay, what are removing function? So we're removing. Let me remove the background color added already. I'll say, okay, bg dash red dash 500. Reload. Okay, what did I get wrong? Let's see what we did wrong. We didn't do it correctly. Okay, come here. It has removed the background color. You see that? So that's exactly what we can do with TypeScript. How we can manipulate elements, manipulate the attribute of an element, and also element content using the TypeScript. All right, using the TypeScript. So thank you very much for watching. See you some other time.